The wind swept across the Wyoming plains like a restless spirit, carrying echoes this land refused to forget. Ethan Cole felt that weight every single day. At 40, he lived inside a silence so deep it almost felt alive. It clung to the wooden walls of his cabin, to the worn floorboards, to the empty chair sitting across from him at the table. His life had turned into a routine of labor and stillness, a quiet march through days that never seemed to change. Most people in the valley believed solitude suited him. They didn't know the truth. They didn't know about the 3 weathered crosses standing on the hill behind his home, one for his father and 2 smaller ones for the family he lost. Ethan rarely looked at them. The memory of that fever-stricken week had carved a wound too deep to heal, so he worked. He fixed fences, cared for cattle, and slept in a house built for laughter that no longer existed. He asked nothing from life and expected nothing in return. That was before the woman with guarded eyes arrived. Her name was Mira. In the town of Haven Ridge, people simply called her the new girl at the general store. She stepped down from the stagecoach carrying nothing but a worn bag and a silence heavier than Ethan's. She was in her late 20s, quietly beautiful. But it was her eyes that made people stop. Tired, careful, filled with secrets she refused to share. The town didn't like mysteries. Whispers followed her. Judgment came quickly. Still, Mira kept her head down and worked hard, mending clothes, arranging shelves, earning her place with quiet determination. Ethan first noticed her on an ordinary afternoon. She stood behind the counter measuring cloth. He had come for flour and nails, nothing more. But when she looked at him, something shifted. Her eyes carried the same hidden pain he knew too well. Their exchange was brief. She packed his supplies. He paid. Their fingers brushed for just a moment, and she flinched slightly, as if even the softest touch reminded her of something painful. Ethan didn't understand it, but he couldn't forget her. A week later, the storm came. The blizzard arrived without warning. Morning skies turned dark and heavy, and by noon the wind screamed like a living thing. Snow fell thick and blinding, swallowing the land in white. Ethan knew what that meant. Storms like this didn't just pass, they killed. He was checking the northern fence when his horse suddenly stopped, ears back, refusing to move. Through the storm, Ethan saw it, a broken wagon half buried in snow, a struggling horse, and a figure lying motionless beside it. He rushed forward. When he cleared the snow from the figure, his heart pounded hard. It was Mira. Her skin was pale. Her lips had turned blue. Her body barely held warmth. She had been caught in the storm, too late to escape. Ethan paused for only a second. Taking her in meant breaking the walls he had built for years, but leaving her meant death. He lifted her into his arms, wrapped her in his coat, and rode into the storm. Hours passed in freezing silence. When he finally reached his cabin, the storm roared behind him like something alive. Inside, he fought to bring her back. He fed the fire, warmed her hands, gave her broth slowly. She didn't wake fully. She whispered in a language he didn't understand, cried out in her sleep, as if haunted by something far worse than the storm. For 2 days, they were trapped together. Ethan said little, but he noticed everything, the way she flinched even in sleep, the fear hidden in every movement. Someone had hurt her deeply. By the 3rd morning, the storm had passed. The world outside was quiet and white. He took her back to town. On that short ride, they spoke more than ever before. Simple words, careful ones, but each carried meaning. When he left her at the store, something unspoken remained between them, something neither dared to name, but Ethan felt it. And for the first time in years, his silence no longer felt empty. Peace didn't last long. Mira returned to her routine, but the town did not forget her. Whispers grew louder. Suspicion turned sharp. Then one day, everything broke. A silver pendant went missing from the store. Searches were made, accusations whispered, and suddenly, it appeared inside Mira's bag. The room went silent. "I didn't take it," she said softly. But no one believed her. She lost her job, her place, everything. For 2 nights she stayed alone, counting her last coins. On the third day, she made a choice. She rode to Ethan's ranch. He stood there splitting wood when she arrived. "I have nowhere to go," she said quietly. "I'll work, for food, for shelter, anything." The silence stretched. Then Ethan nodded toward a small cabin nearby. "You can stay." That moment changed everything. They began a quiet life together. She managed books, cooked meals, repaired clothes. He worked the land, brought wood, fixed what was broken. Slowly, something grew between them. Not loud, not rushed, but steady. Then came the night of wolves. Chaos broke across the ranch. They fought side by side. Afterward, Ethan saw it, a scar, a mark burned into her skin, a symbol known across the land. It belonged to a man everyone feared, Victor Kane, a name tied to fire, death, and destruction. Mira trembled. "Please, don't turn away," she whispered. Ethan held her hand gently. "I'm not afraid of you." And in that moment, she believed him. But the past does not stay buried. One day, elegant wagons rolled into town, and leading them was Victor Kane, the man who destroyed Mira's life. Fear returned, but this time, she didn't run alone. Ethan stood beside her. "You're safe," he said. But safety wasn't enough anymore. Kane wanted the land, and he wanted her back. Trouble followed: poisoned cattle, broken fences, threats and lies. Then he went too far. He killed Ethan's friend. That night, Ethan and Mira made a decision. "No more running," she said. He nodded. "We end this." They set a trap, a false rumor, hidden silver. Kane came with his men, but the canyon became their grave. Gunfire echoed, shadows moved, one by one. They fell, until only Kane remained. A final shot rang out. Mira fired, Kane fell, and the land itself buried him. Silence returned once more, but this time it was different. Weeks later, under a calm winter sky, Ethan and Mira stood together. The past still existed, but it no longer controlled them. They had lost everything once, but now they had found something stronger: each other.